Okay, let's talk about a threat hiding in plain sight. We're talking about one of the most popular development tools on the planet, and it might already be inside your organization's network. Today, we're going to dive into how your team's most trusted software could actually be their biggest vulnerability.
So I've got to ask, is your code editor a Trojan horse? I mean, think about that for a second. The very tool your teams use every single day to build, to create, could it be the thing that brings everything down? It's a possibility we have to take seriously. And this really gets to the heart of the issue. The new frontline in cybersecurity, it isn't just about firewalls or protecting servers anymore. No, the battleground has shifted. It's moved to the everyday software that we all trust without a second thought. The very tools that millions of developers rely on day in and day out to get their jobs done.
All right, so this hidden threat we're talking about, it's got a name, Glassworm. And here's the thing, it's not some brand new piece of malware. It's actually made a really dangerous comeback, popping up in both the official Microsoft Visual Studio Marketplace and the OpenVSX registry. And here's what makes this so alarming. The sheer scale. We're not talking about some obscure niche piece of software here. We're talking millions. Millions of developers use these extension libraries every single day. That creates this massive potential attack surface that puts a huge, vital community at risk. It's staggering.
So you're probably wondering, how does this even work, right? How does this simple little extension for your code editor turn into a full-blown security nightmare? Well, let's break down the anatomy of this supply chain breach.
Okay, so a supply chain attack sounds complex, but the idea is actually pretty simple. The attackers have shifted their strategy. They're not trying to break down your company's front door anymore. Instead, they're poisoning the well. They compromise the tools and libraries that your developers trust, the very building blocks of your software, and they use that trust as a backdoor, sneaking right past all your defenses.
And look, this isn't some new one-off problem. It's a persistent one. The first wave hit back in 2025. They found at least 24 of these fake extensions targeting Windows machines. And yeah, they were caught, the extensions were deleted, and it really seemed like the threat was neutralized. But nope, the attackers just played the long game. They waited, they regrouped, and now they're back, publishing all new malicious extensions under different names. This isn't a one-and-done deal. It's a recurring nightmare.
So what's the whole point of these fake extensions? What's the end game? Well, it's to quietly install this really nasty piece of malware called Llama Stealer. It's what we call an info stealer, and its one and only job is to siphon off sensitive data. We're talking passwords, private keys, you name it, from any machine it infects. And the worst part? It all happens silently, in the background, while your developer thinks they're just installing a cool new color theme for their editor. Okay, that's the scary part. The threat is definitely serious, but, and this is a big but, it's not hopeless. So now let's switch gears and talk defense. We're going to cover exactly how you can turn your team into proactive defenders, spotting these fakes before they can do any real damage.
So let's look at the telltale signs. On one side, you've got a verified, trustworthy publisher. They'll usually have a ton of installs, a long-established history in the marketplace. Now compare that to a suspicious publisher. You'll see red flags like a really low install count, maybe fewer than 500. It was probably created in just the last couple of months, and the publisher name just looks weird, like it was randomly generated. Honestly, the difference is night and day once you know what you're looking for.
And let's get even more specific. Here are some major red flags to train your team to watch for. First, does the extension make some over-the-top promise? You know, something that sounds a little too good to be true? Second, look closely at the publisher name. Is it a copycat, like a slight misspelling of a legitimate company? And this last one is absolutely crucial. Check the permissions it's asking for. If a simple theme is asking for permission to read and write all your files, that is a massive flashing warning sign. Time to hit the brakes and investigate. Okay, so knowing how to spot the fakes is a great first step, but it's not enough. We need a concrete plan of action. So let's lay out a clear 4-step security playbook that you can put into practice right away to lock down your development environment. All right, let's walk through this. Your non-negotiable action plan. Step 1 is audit and freeze. That means right now, today, you hit pause on all new extension installs. Then you audit everything that's been installed since September, when this threat resurfaced. You have to know what's on your network. Step 2, require verification. This is about raising your standards. From now on, you stick to extensions with high download counts and you turn on the built-in verification features. No more flying blind. Step 3 is to enforce endpoint security. This is a must.
Every single developer device needs up-to-date protection that is specifically designed to detect and block info stealers. Your standard antivirus might not cut it. And finally, step 4, build a policy. It's time to stop thinking of third-party tools as harmless add-ons. They're a risk. You need to treat them like one by creating clear guidelines for how they're approved and used.
And listen, here's a super critical reminder I really need to hammer home. You know that built-in extension verification setting in VS Code? Well, for a whole lot of users, Microsoft has it turned off by default. Yeah, you have to manually go into your settings and turn it on. This is such a simple but critical action you can take that will dramatically improve your security. So, what does all this mean going forward? The big takeaway here is that this isn't just a one-off incident. This is the new normal. The future of developing software securely is going to be defined by one word: vigilance. Because here's the hard truth. The attackers are fast. Glassworm has already proved that they can get their malware back onto these marketplaces faster than the platforms can take them down. That means we can't just sit back and rely on Microsoft or anyone else to protect us. That responsibility, it's shifted. It's on us now. And this really has to be the new mindset moving forward. You have to treat every unknown VS Code extension like a potential Trojan horse. It's that simple. Until the verification process gets way stronger, that's just the safest way to operate. So I'll leave you with this one last thought. Yeah, today we focused on Glassworm and VS Code, but this isn't just a VS Code problem. This is a supply chain problem. So the real question, the one you need to take back to your team, is this: Glassworm targeted VS Code. What's hiding in your other tools?